This last video is going to cover a couple of problems where a hypothesis test has been conducted and the results of step 3 have been given to us, as well as the information for the claim, and we will be asked to make a decision and state a conclusion. So let's go ahead and get to the first problem. Okay, here we have a researcher conducts a hypothesis test at the alpha equals, or at the 0.05 significance level, which is alpha, of the claim that the mean number of hours that students study over a weekend is less than 3 hours. She computes a test statistic and finds it to be negative 1.698, and she looks up the critical value and finds it to be negative 1.676. State the decision and state the appropriate conclusion as related to the original claim. Okay, so let's see what we have in the original claim. We know what alpha is, okay? And the claim that the mean is less than 3. So basically, mu is less than 3. So we've got our the claim. And again, this has an error in it. This should be mu is less than 3. And we have it given to us that in step 3 or step 2, we got a test statistic of negative 1.698. And in step 3, we have the critical value found to be negative 1.676. So we need to state a conclusion or state a decision and our conclusion from that information. Well, since this has a critical value in it and the test statistic, we're going to make our decision based on the critical value approach. So we kind of need a picture of where things are. And if we draw the number line, we see that plot the test statistic relative to the mean. It's negative, so it's to the left of the mean, negative 1.676. And then we plot the test statistic itself. We plot the critical value here. And we plot the test statistic itself, which is very close to the critical value. But it is to the left of the critical value. Therefore, it is in the rejection region or the critical region. Okay, just barely, but it is in there. Therefore, our decision will be, since the test statistic is farther from the mean than the critical value on that side, it is less than the critical value, we're going to reject the null hypothesis. So there is our decision. We reject A0 because of this. Then once we've got our decision made, we state our conclusion, referring to the original claim. Remember, the original claim is mu is less than 3. So we would go to the flow chart, and the claim does not include equality. We rejected, so we would end up with the wording, there is sufficient sample evidence to support the claim that mu is less than 3. Let's go to the next problem. And we have a new rifle is developed by the Walther Company. They claim that under controlled conditions, the mean vertical miss distance when fired at a target 50 meters away is 0 centimeters. An NRA lab tests the new gun at the 0.05 significance level and finds a test statistic value of 2.227 and a p-value of 0.0336. State the decision and state the appropriate conclusion as related to the original claim. Okay, so let's talk about the original claim. The original claim is that the mean, they claim that the mean is 0. So mu equals 0 is the mean. The test statistic is given to us, and the p-value is given to us. We need to, and we don't really need the sketch in this particular case, but we need to make a decision based on p-value because we don't have critical value information. All we have is p-value. And we know what alpha is. Alpha was given to us as 0.05. So, and when we have a p-value, we compare it to alpha. If it is less than or equal to alpha, we'll reject, and indeed it is. Therefore, we're going to reject H0 because 0.0336 is less than 0.05. So that's our decision, and we made that decision using p-value. And then we state the conclusion. Claim doesn't include equality. H0 was rejected. Therefore, the wording of the conclusion is there is sufficient sample evidence to warrant rejection of the claim that mu equals 0 because it includes equality. Okay? Whenever it includes equality, it's always about warranting rejection or not warranting rejection. Okay? And basically, that is how you're going to do these problems. You're not going to do a whole hypothesis test because you've got everything you need through step 3. You just need to do steps 4 and 5. You need to know what the claim is from the wording of the problem because you need that claim written in to determine if it's going to be one-tailed, two-tailed, or what have you. Or to determine if the claim includes equality or not, so that you can write the correct conclusion or statement of conclusion here. And that ends the last problem. So you should have everything you need to complete the homework for Homework 8 Part 2.